Hello. Hi, and welcome to the Leadership Reset, your jumpstart to 2026. I hope you are amazing and doing well on this Saturday morning. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Time where I am. And wherever you are, just know that I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So I would love for you.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad that did that. This is my first time using YouTube's live stream. I usually go through StreamYard. And so I was sitting here as I was preparing, I was like, I hope this goes well. And from the sound of it, you can hear me, you can see me clearly. So what I love for you to just do is jump in the chat. If you're watching this live, jump in now. If you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay because I want to know that you're here and you're with me. I love to engage, so I'm going to be asking questions. When I share something that resonates with you, I want you to jump in the chat and share your reaction, whether it's a word, whether it's the hand raise emojis, whether it's the fire emojis, whatever comes to your mind. I want you to put that in the chat. Again, welcome to the Leadership Reset, your jumpstart for 2026. I am your host, Dr. Candace Johnson. Welcome to this page, visionSPEAK Consulting. And I am the founder and Chief Encouragement Officer. Catch that. Chief Encouragement Officer of visionSPEAK Consulting. visionSPEAK Consulting was created, founded, dreamed up in May of 2018. And I would love right now to go into the whole story of the creation, but I'm going to be mindful of time and not share all those details, but just know it was a God-given dream to start this business. And it's just been an amazing journey, not without challenges, but I'm just grateful for what he's given me to be able to share with you, a leader in your home, a leader of yourself, a leader of your family, your business, your career, a leader of your life. You are an influence. There are people connected to you that you have influence however you want to word that. So this leadership reset, these next today and the next 2 Saturdays are just for you. So I definitely want you to lock in, grab your notebook. I have plenty on the side. Here's one of the notebooks that I use to take notes. I have a journal. And so I want you to grab your notebook if you can and just take note of what you're hearing as I share. So visionSPEAK Consulting is where we empower individuals, students, and organizations to rise in clarity, to rise in confidence and in their calling or in their purpose, what they have been designed to do. And so I offer a plethora of services. I like to say a boutique of services. So I offer life coaching, I offer educational and college consulting, workshops, personal development, leadership development workshops, professional development for organization and businesses, where I'm helping individuals, organizations gain clarity and direction for their next steps. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today and the next 2 Saturdays. Yay, are you excited? I pray so. Again, welcome to the Leadership Reset, your jumpstart or jumpstarting, right, year 2026. So today is Vision Reset. Listen, the name of my business is visionSPEAK Consulting on Purpose. And SPEAK actually is an acronym, and I'll share with you what that is. SPEAK is strengths, purpose, education, and action with kindness. Strengths, purpose, education, action with kindness. So you're going to hear pieces of that framework throughout our time together today and the next 2 Saturdays. But today we are leading with a vision reset. So what is vision? What is vision? You see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So vision is the act or power of seeing. Look, I have my glasses on today, so I have clear, and I wear contacts. I was like, it's a glasses day today. And so, I'm grateful because with the aid of contacts and glasses, I can see clear, right? And so vision is the power of seeing. It's sight, it's foresight, right? You may have heard it described as, and even I do this, what is my dream or what is my goal? What do I see for myself or for my family in the future, right? What do I sense for my business, my career, my entire life? One of my favorite, this is a life verse for me, and I'm so grateful because maybe I saw it when I was growing up, reading my Bible in church, or someone, a pastor may have said it, but it was in college when actually I'm getting personal on this live. My college sweetheart at the time, his mom blessed me by sharing this verse with me. And if you know me or you have been a part of any live or Zoom meeting or in-person gathering that I've shared, or you've looked at my email signature, it's not on there now, but I used to have this scripture on my email signature for a really long time. Proverbs 29:18. If you are watching this replay or live, I want you to put Proverbs 29:18 in the chat. And you can just put Proverbs 29:18. You don't have to put the whole verse, but that will cause somebody to hopefully go look it up. But I'm going to share what it is. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." That is the verse that she gave me. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm just going to always have a vision. And I was anyway. So that was a part of who I was. I was always dreaming or thinking ahead, thinking about what I wanted to do. I kept and still keep to this day to-do lists. And so I'm so grateful that she blessed me with that because, again, it has become a life verse for me and something that I share with leaders, with students, with women through my Queen Arise ministry. Proverbs 29:18, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." And so when you hear perish, you automatically think about you die. And I'm not talking about, and I don't believe the writer of Proverbs, which a lot of the Proverbs are written by Solomon, I don't believe that he meant die physically, although that could happen, right? I heard, I think it was Miles Monroe, of course, he has since passed, but I heard a teaching, he talked about, the greatest wealth, and I am misquoting, but basically talks about like dreams being deferred and dreams dying. Cemetery. When you walk through a cemetery, so many people had dreams and goals but unfortunately weren't able to see those things come to pass physically. Okay. I might have totally butchered that, but please give me grace. But when you do not have a vision, a dream, a goal, right? I feel like you are just walking in circles. There's really no direction that you have for your life. You're just going along to get along. Just literally think about someone just walking in circles. They don't know which way they'll want to go. And so they end up going the same old way. And that will cause you to mentally perish and maybe even physically perish because all of that really is connected, right? Our body, our soul, and our spirit. It's all connected. I'm going to read that verse in the Passion Translation. "Where there is no clear prophetic vision, we drift." Right? That we're just going along, really no direction, walking in circles. And then it goes on to say, "But when we follow the revelation of the word, Jesus is the living word, then heaven's bliss fills our soul." I'm a witness to that. I'm so grateful because God has given me vision. He's given me identity. We're going to talk about that. He's given me purpose. And so I wake up so excited. I woke up today thinking about you because I knew that it had been on my heart. I feel like I've said this a lot lately. I said this about something else, about me posting about my book. It had been on my heart to do a live and to do a series. And initially, I was going to do like a 30-day live, and I'll get to that. But I really had to think about capacity. And it's like, okay, you want to go live, Candace, and teach and share and encourage, but you don't have the capacity to do, 30 days, right? But what can you do? That's a word for somebody. That's, you're waiting to do this grand big thing, and then that's keeping you stuck because it's overwhelming to you. I was about to say it seems overwhelming, but when you think about it, it becomes overwhelming and you stay stuck. Come on. But what can you do that's a smaller scale and will still bring impact and really will help build you, right? And build your capacity to the bigger vision and goal that you have. I did not know I was going to say that, but I feel Holy Spirit pressing on me, that I needed to lean into that. Start where you are. Okay, so we're going to start with identity vision. Identity vision, because right in that moment, right before I just said, right, I was kind of talking about goals and dreams and things that you do, right? However, what I have learned and God has helped me to learn, and other ministers that I am connected to, and teachings that I listen to, and books and mentorship that I've received, that identity is the foundation. Before we talk about dreams and goals, let's talk about your identity. Let's talk about your identity. That is the foundation. The dreams and the goals flow out of your identity and what you believe about who you are, right? We're human beings, not human doings. But sometimes we lean, and I'm talking about what I'm talking about because I know we lean so into the doing, and so the doing becomes our identity. And then we look up and we're like, I got lost in who I was, right? We look back and we look up and say, this is really not what I want to do. Okay, so again, let's begin, leader, with identity vision. Who are you? Who are you, and how do you see yourself? What do you truly believe about who you are? I hope in this moment that some things, some words, right, some characteristics are popping up in your mind. And remember, have that notebook close so you can capture those things that are coming to mind as I'm sharing. Identity, like I said, is the foundation. You think about a house. It's so interesting. I pulled up last night. I had gone to an event at our church, and I pulled up and I'm like, something's different about my house. Why does it look like it's leaning? And actually what had happened, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and we had snow I'm looking at the calendar, December 1st, we had snow on Monday night, which to me was wow. I'm like, I feel like for December, that is so early. I wasn't ready for snow in December, but I say I wasn't ready, but I was ready. Like, I was cozy at home, and I even went out and scraped the car, or scraped the snow off the car. But long story short, my gutter on the right side of my house is protruding out from my house. It's not nailed back in. I was like, dag, and I got out the car and I looked at it, but it's so interesting because it looked like my house was leaning because of the gutter. But I had to remember, Candace, honey, you have a crawl space. Like, your house is solid. Your house is not leaning. It's the gutter, which I feel like it's an easy fix to get pushed back in. And I know it's because like the snow had got into it, and ice is in there, and probably the heaviness from the ice pulled it away from the house. That, in my mind, that's what happened. And when I was trying to jiggle it last night, I was like, oh, I need to be careful because I do not want it to fall off. But I say all that to say is that identity, right? If you think about a house and the foundation of a house and the concrete that's poured in, whether you have a basement or a crawl space, right? There was something poured in, right? To be able to build up to what we see on the outside, right? So there is identity, right? Not just who you are or what you see when you look at the mirror, or now I'm looking in the camera and I can see myself and describe my physical characteristics, but who am I? What's that foundation on the inside of me? That's going to help lead me to purpose. That's going to help lead me to the vision that I have for myself now into 2026 and even years beyond that. Behavior flows from identity. What you do and what you think you can do is shaped by what you believe about yourself. So identity vision, my amazing leader, right? as who you are beyond the mirror. It's beyond external titles. I even introduced myself. I'm the founder and the CEO of visionSPEAK Consulting. But Candace is a daughter. Candace is, boom, a queen. Candace is a kingdom mother. Candace is light. Candace is joy. Candace is salt of the earth. God has walked me through discovering who I am. And I actually have an identity statement in my phone. I was going to read it, but maybe I'll do that or share it in the comments or something like that, right? But it's beyond external titles and roles. So I want you to write this question down because this is going to be a part of homework, but it's good work, right? What qualities, beliefs, and characteristics define you? What qualities, beliefs, and characteristics define you? What qualities, beliefs, and characteristics define you? It's good. If you're a believer, or maybe you're a pre-believer, this is the invitation, right? To ask God, how do you define me? How do you define me? For pre-believers, this is, like I said, is an invitation for all of us to explore who we were created to be. I encourage you, think back to childhood. Think back to childhood. What did you naturally carry? What came easily to you? Or even thinking back to childhood, because those two questions are leaning into like the doing. But in terms of the being, what qualities and characteristics did your parents call out in you? Right? Oh, every time I see this in you, or you're just, right? Now, maybe your childhood wasn't the best. So maybe you need to stay away from childhood in terms of figuring out, how you're defining your qualities and characteristics. And think about another time period when you came into knowing, or maybe someone shared with you, these are the good qualities that I see in you. When you do this, it helps in this way, or I really admired when you did this, right? Take time to recall those moments. That will help you if maybe you're unsure of, okay, what is my identity? Who am I? Right? Doing that type of discovery, I believe, will help. I know it has definitely been helpful to me. If it is challenging, that's a good thing. I know we want to shy away from the hard things, right? The difficult things, but it's an invitation. It really is to discover and rediscover you. It's what's going to help set that foundation for then you to have that vision reset, to think about how you want to show up ending 2025 and stepping into 2026 and having that influence that you want to have on the people that you serve, whether that's in your family, in your organization, in your business, in your life, and the other parts of your life. I adore Graham Cook. I adore Graham Cook. Graham Cook, oh my goodness, he's an amazing kingdom minister. I'm sure he's been a pastor. He has amazing books and ministries and teaching. And he has a podcast called Brilliant Perspective Podcast that episodes come out every week. So I tune into that. I listen to that. But he posts a lot on socials. And one post that I saw a couple of months ago, he said it was a devotional. What if purpose isn't something you find, but something you become? Right? That's speaking to identity. What if purpose isn't something you find, but something you become? That's why, as we talk about the leadership reset and jumpstarting our 2026, starting with identity, who we are becoming is the foundation, because then purpose, right, is going to flow from that. It emerges from identity. Learn who you are and purpose flows. That's been my story. I remember working at Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, KHEAA, KHEAA. In Kentucky, if you're not in Kentucky, but maybe your state has an organization that's similar, KHEAA is the state's financial aid organization. KHEAA administers financial aid and other products for students. So it is dedicated to helping students connect to higher education, whether that's seniors heading into college or adults returning to school or going to school for the first time, non-traditional students. So I served as an outreach counselor. So I was out and about teaching, encouraging students and families in the college application and financial aid process. And I remember one of my colleagues, she actually worked in our marketing department, and my cubicle was right down from her office. And so I wasn't in the office a lot because my job was to be out and about. But when I did go into the office and I had my admin days, I made it a point of getting to know my colleagues in other departments. And that was just so important to me because I'm a people person. I love people. And I knew that I just wanted to show love and care for people. And so I remember the marketing director, we were talking, and she was like, "Candace, you just always see the good." You just always see the good. You're so positive. And she was just saying, no, I can be negative. And when I share things, you just somehow like turn it around and help me to see the good. And even as I'm sharing now, that was an aha, epiphany, blow my mind a moment, because I didn't realize that I did that. No one had ever pointed that out. And I just naturally did it. And what's coming to mind is something that a pastor that I follow, Pastor Dan Thomas, shout out to Pastor Dan, says. He's like, what you do naturally well, you would do well naturally. And I naturally, like her sharing that, I naturally saw the good. I would dare to see the good. And I would help other people in that. I would turn it around. Things would come up in my mind. I'm like, well, and it would just flow out. And that she may not have known that in that moment, but that blessed me so much. She gave me a key. She gave me a key to my identity that I didn't even know brought impact. So your identity, who you are, how you show up, is bringing impact to your world. And I believe you just don't know it fully yet. And we may not know it fully because some people may not share exactly how you have impacted their life. And that's okay. But what I love about God, He will give those God wings where someone will come back to you. And I'm sure it's already happened to you. Somebody will come back to you and say, you know what? When you do this, it blesses me. Do you know that and you're like, oh my goodness. So that blessed me so much. And so I'm like, yeah, I am positive. So I begin to lean into that. I begin to be intentional, right? I begin to know that when I walk into the room, that's a gifting that I carry because it's a part of my identity. So this is how I can release it in this moment. Isn't that powerful? You are more powerful than you think. But I believe in this moment, you're learning how powerful you are. And there's some intentionality that's coming into play for the end of this year and going into 2026, because this is the jump start. Hey, this is the jump start. Are you rocking with me? If you're rocking with me, say I'm rocking with you in the comments, Dr. Candace. Yes, let's go. Let's go. So from that, I got my doctorate degree, some years later. It's weird to say years later, but some years later after that interaction. And I took the Clifton Strengths Assessment. And it's a 100-word assessment that gives you you can actually get all 34, but the program we had, our top 5 talents, and it gives you a printout, a guide on how to invest in your talents so they become strengths. And my number one talent was positivity. So again, that just added fuel to the beautiful fire, right? That was welling up on the inside of me to say, Candace, don't shy away from how you are made, how you've been made, those qualities, those characteristics. So good. So take note of your strengths. Ask people around you if you don't know yet, right? As you're writing thoughts down about your identity, your beliefs, your characteristics, right? Ask someone around you, what strengths do you see in me, right? Or explore assessments like Clifton Strengths. I highly recommend it. And I'm on live, so I'm gonna say this as well. Soon, I believe in 2026, because things are bubbling up. I am going to become a certified Gallup, I think it's a Gallup, I have it right here, Gallup certified strengths coach. It's been a dream of mine since 2017, 2018, and it's going to come to pass in 2026. And then I'll be able to help you with coaching you, which I do all anyway. I'm doing it now. But the assessment and being trained, more tools to the toolbox, more tools to the toolbox. So good. So maybe you already have a vision, right? You already have a vision of who you are. This is the invitation, right? It's a reset. So look at it afresh with fresh eyes. Maybe this year didn't unfold the way that you had hoped, right? Maybe you didn't show up how you believed you were to show up, but there's still time. You have breath in your body on today. All is not lost. There is still time, and today is your jump start. So I encourage you, right, from the Chief Encouragement Officer of visionSPEAK Consulting, to take some moments and dream about who you are. And when you dream about who you are, you're going to start to see what you have and what you can do with it. Yeah. Write what you want to see and take the limits off. Take the limits. What I know, I think about Ephesians 3:20. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly beyond what we ask or even imagine, according to the power at work in us. And I am helping to stir you up today. Shout out to my girl Ebony, because she's like, where's that spoon? And shout out to my pastor Steph, because she, during the Unbecoming Me Women's Experience Encounter, she said, I'm stirring you up. Stir up the gifts, right? So, no limits. The power that is at work in you is being stirred up for you to take it beyond. And God is going to help you take it beyond what you could see, because that's just how he is. That's just who he is and how he is. So leaders, here is your assignment. I want you to take 10 to 15 minutes today. Yes, you can take 10 to 15 minutes today. And maybe you need to do it once I end this live in like 2 minutes. Okay? Take 10 to 15 minutes today, because if you wait, you're going to forget. But write your identity vision. Write the vision, make it plain, so that men who read it will run. And you are the men, you are the woman that will read it and run. Write the vision. Who are you at the core? What strengths do you lead with? What truth are you choosing to believe about yourself as we enter into 2026? And we're not waiting until that time. This is Saturday, December 6th. And I believe that what you want to see, who you are, you're going to have a chance to flow in that today. Praise God. And the last question I want you to ask yourself, this is so good. What becomes possible when I lead from my true identity rather than my limitations? What becomes possible when I lead from my true identity rather than limitations? And I'm not going to say my limitations. Don't own those, right? But think about what becomes possible when you lead from your true identity with no limits. Transformation and impact in this world. Things being done, solutions being created that are so needed in our world. And you carry that. So proud of you. Thank you for joining me for day one of the Leadership Reset, Jumpstart Your 2026. I pray it's been a blessing to you. I want you to comment, right? I want you to comment and share with me one identity statement, one piece of your identity that you're holding on to for the end of this year, right? Because we're still in December 2025 and carrying into 2026. Because I, as your Chief Encouragement Officer, my pom-pom's not close, but I'll make sure to have my pom-pom close next Saturday. I'm cheering for you. I'm cheering for you. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so grateful to have this time with you. And next week we'll be back, same time, same place for day 2 of the Leadership Reset, Jumpstarting Your 2026. So I'll meet you back next Saturday. If you're watching the replay, please engage in the comments because I love going back to see the comments and I will respond. Until next time, peace.